in there. There's a bit of.
So, how are you lot doing tonight? You doing all right?
Yes.
Well,
You ready for the quiz? Now, it's more of a visual quiz tonight. I mean, the radio listeners who are listening, if you go over to www.astrotv, I'm getting confused with my own thing. It's on the screen, astrotv.earth. You'll be able to watch the quiz on YouTube and join in yourself if you so wish. For the radio listeners, it might be a bit weird because it's visual. So I've never found that visual really works that well on the radio. I did do a full image processing the sun on Radio Shropshire once. That was bizarre. But I am now touching the telescope. I am now winding the focus. A bit of a bizarre one. So, chaps, what have you been up to this week? Well, we'll have a word with Frank. Frank, I believe, Frank, you've had a recount, and it's even more votes for Biden. I saw that on CNN tonight.
We did $4.5 million in the county I live in. $4.5 million, 5 days of work, and Biden got 132 more votes than he had when they started it. So that was well worth the money. That was well worth the money.
Dear.
It was well worth it. Astronomically speaking, Dave, what you been up to?
Very, very little, to be honest, because we had Northwest Astrofest. That was a good half day, wasn't it? We went through from 3 o'clock in the afternoon with the music starting off on Astro Radio, right through to, I think we finished at 1:30 in the chat room. Well, it was quite an exhausting day, but what a fantastic day we had. Some great talks with Mary and Dave Eagle, yourself, of course, as well. But just well worth doing that outreach. Absolutely love it. But astronomically, again, what's the weather like in Liverpool? Bloody rubbish. Be careful how I say that word. But it wasn't very good weather this week.
No, it's not been a great week for weather, has it, really? And I mean, here in Shropshire, Daz and Cathal and Ron will lay stress to that. It's not been great. There was one day we had some sun. But I mean, Ron's taken to sitting in Whitchurch High Street tonight, by the look of it. So
yeah, that's about right.
You're thrown out, Ron.
He likes to get a bit of fresh air. So he's listening to the show in Whitchurch High Street tonight, whilst Andy's in orbit around Neptune. Frank's by some sort of monolith of things going on there, and Daz is at the Pleiades. And Kath's actually in the gin factory.
Again.
Brewing my collection for later when I lose, unless you get all the lovely listeners who watch on YouTube to help me.
It's a varied quiz tonight, and there's 20 questions, and there's a possibility of getting 28 points. So there's some questions where there's 3 answers. Like I might ask you, who went in this particular spacecraft, and there's 2 astronauts in it, and if you name them both you get 2 points. If you name one you get 1. So that kind of thing. Andy, what you been up to? Anything exciting?
Oh, I would love to say I have, Pete, but we've had an appalling week for weather. We've currently we're in the middle of an orange warning of 72 hours for storms and rain, and it's just been bucketing down. Not just the last 24 hours, but the whole week. So nothing this week, I'm afraid. Bad weather all week.
And Frank, have you been doing anything on SLU at all?
I've been looking at a lot of remote stuff. When you had a guest on here, Steve Ramsden, kind of got me interested in this whole solar thing. And this week there's been a lot of Class C flares and stuff. So I've been going on looking there, and then I went to his blog and started reading up a little bit, and so I'm kind of spending some time looking at the sun. It looks like it's a good idea with the solar minimum ending, and it might be a good idea for me to spend a couple of years figuring out the sun at this time. One more chance before it goes away from me.
It's it's gone away from us ages ago. But as we all know, as that person said to me a while back, that in Spain, where Andy is, they actually have a different sun. It's hotter and it's brighter. It's worth all going to Spain. If you want to visit, you see our twin star. It's over in Spain at the
Are you talking about me or the sun?
Well, Dave just asked, are we live on YouTube? No, we're not live on YouTube until we actually do the quiz. I'm just going to run the quiz live on YouTube and then stop the YouTube feed at the end of the quiz. This other part will go on to YouTube edited later on. So anyway, if you're listening to Astro Radio, I hope you're going to take part in the quiz by going to astrotv.earth and taking part in the quiz. You don't have to send in your answers because, I mean, these guys don't want you to beat them. They don't. And Andy, being the quiz meister, he's all intent on winning again tonight, I believe.
It's not the winning, it's the taking part, Pete.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I'd like
says
people to
here.
help me.
I would like to win.
People
but
are always
I'd like-
telling me
Share my
Kath.
gin.
I'd like to nominate Kath for winning this week.
Yeah, with the help from 250,000 listeners, I might be all right. Yeah.
I still want to see her chug a bottle of gin.
Don't.
Well, lads.
Apparently, it doesn't take very long, does?
No. The result is not always pretty if I start dancing, as Pete.
So Ron, since we spoke last, which isn't many days ago, have been up to anything exciting, astronomically or non-astronomically, of course?
Astronomically, no, because like you, Shropshire's has been covered in perpetual gloom for about the last, I don't know, 47 years or something. Certainly for about the last 3 months. So my nice shiny telescope waiting to take pictures is sitting all forlorn and unused. No, apart from that, I'm afraid life's been a bit tedious. Some men turned up to do some paving. I mean, that's about as exciting as it's been.
You
Are
should
they crazy?
Oh, dear.
on YouTube. We need something exciting on YouTube. A man paving in Whitchurch would have just gone down nice.
They were getting very wet last time I saw them doing it.
There you go. Daz, have you been doing any slewing?
Not really, because with Andy's weather, Mount Tidy's been rained in, and you can sit there and watch the time lapse video and watch all the ice form on the All Sky camera, and then melt again, and then come back again, all the rain and that. So there hasn't been a lot going on there. And I find sometimes chill is just too late for me now. I'm getting on a bit now, so yeah. No, I've been doing some, like Frank said, the sun's been really active and it's been really good. So I've been on NOAA, the American space weather site, watching the time lapses and watching the active regions come into view, and it is really beginning to kick off now. So it's nice to see, because it's been dull for so long, the sun. I stopped taking images of it, so but now, yes, again now, but of course it's all kicking off, and the Sleuth solar scopes all snowed in and iced in and everything, so it's been a shame, but I can still take screenshots on the NOAA site. So yeah, I've still been doing a little bit.
Has anybody come up with an estimate yet of the size of that new giant sunspot that we saw swinging from the limb a few days ago? Because that looks absolutely enormous.
No.
Is that naked eye? Obviously, we've got to be careful. If you do look at the
Yeah.
sun, you've got to be so careful. You will be blinded if you're not taking precaution there. But sometimes those sunspots are large enough to be
Somebody
seen when the
did-
sun sets, with a bit of careful vision. Sorry, Frank.
Somebody on the Charlie Bates site said that somebody on the Charlie Bates site said they were able to see it naked eye yesterday.
So that puts
That's
it
how
in the
big it is,
Jupiter
yeah.
size class then.
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
through the clouds here this morning, and it was just hazy, and you could just about see it. So it is
Wow.
Wow.
What, you had sun?
solar glasses on it. You'll see it. Kath, are you been taking pictures of the moon through your old Dobbo there?
Oh yes, yeah, I did. And we had I'm trying to think what night it was. It was clear. I can't. Was it Wednesday maybe? Yeah, I got a really nice picture of the moon, and for some reason it's been retweeted all over the place on Twitter, which
Fantastic.
happens occasionally. And
Well
I also
done.
got quite a nice one of Orion as well, because I'm still, as some of you know, learning how to use a DSLR, but I actually got a decent one that was actually quite in focus, and you could see a little bit of nebulosity. Is that the right word? Am I
That's
saying
right,
that?
That's
I
correct.
always
Yeah.
struggle pronouncing that word, and that's nothing to do with the gin. That would be at any time of day. But yeah, and it was one night that was really clear, and Mars was, and I got a few of Mars through clouds, which I've yet to put up, which is quite atmospheric. So one night, better than nothing, you know. But today there's absolutely no chance. It's been absolutely hammering it down, and I
Make
don't know what it's like.
Make sure to post your Mars shots, Kath. I'd love to see those.
I will do. I mean, it's only like a tiny little bit of Mars, but you know, it's only tiny, but still.
They've discovered this week that, or there's been a paper out which has not been peer reviewed yet, one should properly say, that there was a volcanic eruption on Mars just 53,000 years ago. So it's beginning to look as if Mars has very rare volcanic activity and is not totally dead inside.
So it's not dormant, yeah.
No, that's right. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, what about occasionally we see clouds forming above the volcanoes? Or let's say the dormant volcanoes. There's often cloud above them.
Yeah.
Now, is that just because it's an atmospheric thing? There's, you know, because of the air above it?
I think it's just atmospheric, really. It's just
outgassing.
It's just it's not outgassing. It's definitely just the what passes through air on Mars rising up the side of the volcano and condensing. So
because those volcanoes are very tall.
Yes,
certainly, yeah. Am I right in saying Olympus Mons is higher than Mount Everest? If you imagine sea level, obviously there's no sea on Mars, but from the 0 point, Mars, that mountain is more higher than Mount Everest.
It's actually
29,000 feet.
Significantly higher.
It's actually 3 times the height.
Yeah, but again, it's much larger. Let's say in diameter. So the actual incline, you could walk up it quite easily.
You would never see it if you've ever seen Mount Rainier in the state of Washington in the U.S. It's a beautiful mountain that you can see from 110 miles away, but the closer you get to it, it disappears. You can climb the mountain, you can almost not see it because it's the same type of thing. It's a long incline, very strange.
Slowly, yeah.
The footprint of Olympus Mons, if you want to call it that, is the size of Spain.
Wow!
It's massive. It's a massive volcano. It's surrounded by vertical cliffs up to 5 miles high.
Really?
So you'd need a fair bit of climbing gear to go up 5 miles. Once you get there, the slope to the summit is only 5 degrees, so you could walk up from there very, very, very easily.
Yeah.
But it's getting up those
getting up that 5 mile first.
Yeah. I think it's between 2 and 5 miles. Yeah. So it'll be a challenge for mountaineers in the future, or marshals, or whatever you want to call them.
What are you saying there, Ron? Sorry.
I was just trying to say that first step is a bit of a big one.
Yeah. So therefore, what would Neil Armstrong have said? That's one
enormous step.
Ginormous, I think. Ginormous
step. I was actually listening to the audio of Neil Armstrong as he stood there down on that ladder, and it was a man. We Pete have discussed this in the past, and so we believe that it was a man. That was what Neil Armstrong has said, and Rick, Neil Armstrong's son, has confirmed that. And when you do listen to the audio, it depends on how you hear it. It just says that's one small step for man, but in between it, you can hear a man, and I think it's down to the American accent, Frank. What I would like is somebody from wherever Armstrong was from. I would like them to repeat the phrase. More or less the same tone and same manner, and see how that comes out, because it says that's one small step for man, and it's that man, it's that wine.
I think
on to the next one. I think it's lost in that, and he did say a man.
I think in the future, I think the solution to this is not to permit anybody to go to the moon who doesn't speak the Queen's English. I think that's
quite so. Yeah,
that's,
I mean, we were the first on the moon, if you remember, Catherine.
Yeah,
Jules Verne.
Yes, that's right.
We had the Union Jack was on the moon first.
Man in the moon, 1880 something. He went to the moon, didn't he?
That's right.
I watched the film recently.
Where there was
brilliant.
Where the underground, under Mars surface was the life form, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Flies, kind of things.
Or something like that. But it's good to know that England was there first, and Queen Victoria was very proud of us.
Yeah. Yes. But I mean, the only way we're going to prove this now is to get Frank to recreate the whole scene.
We'll get Frank to say that's one small step for man.
One small step for a man in Wisconsin.
That's it, yeah. And can we also say to Frank, happy Thanksgiving Day, although we're 24 hours late.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving Day.
And thank you so much.
Also add happy Thank Goodness Day as well, that you've done the recount and it actually came out better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came up 132 better after all that effort.
That's it.
And money.
Happy
and
Thankfulness
money.
Day to everyone.
That was a bit of a waste of money then, wasn't it?
We're going to go back to another track, and when we come out of this track, we'll have a quick chat, and then I'll set the quiz up.
Ooh.
This is Hovey, and it's Made of Stars.
Andy, you had me thinking about that 5 mile climb. No, somebody was talking yesterday. They talked about when we always talk about the moon.
I'll just have a quick word with Andy here on air at the moment. Andy,
Yes, sir.
if there are any societies out there, how do they get hold of you? How do they book you?
Oh, very, very easily. They can contact me at andy@astroradio.earth.
There you go. And two of your main talks you do at the moment. One on black holes, and the other one
is on the title of the talk is Listening to the Underverse, Gravitational Waves.
Ah, sounds interesting. Just want to say hi to Richard from Cardiff Mill Valley. Hi, Richard. Can you hear us? Don't think he can. But Richard's in there, so maybe he's going to take part in the quiz. But maybe he doesn't want to be shown in case. I know Richard will probably win it. He's very good. Richard's the fellow that books me for Stars in the Sky in their skies at Cardiff Mill Valley National Trust. And hopefully we can get back to that after the vaccine and all the rest, when we can get back out there in public again at some point. And but I mean, like I've said before, I'll be glad when it's back to 10 meters social distancing. It'll be almost 2 meters, I think, just too intimate for me.
You're not antisocial at all, Peter, are you?
No.
No.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the quiz in a little while. Now, as I said, if you're listening on the radio and you want to see the quiz, because it's more of a visual one tonight, please go to www.astrotv.earth and you'll be able to see it. Now, during the next couple of songs, I'm going to be setting the quiz up and setting the YouTube feed going. So we're going to I think we'll have a little bit of Men at Work and Catch a Star, and then we'll have Jethro Tull and Quiz Kid. Right, folks, just bear with me because I'm going to be setting the quiz up for a second. And we're going to do the quiz. Are you ready for the quiz, chaps?
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Are you ready?
Bring it on. There's confidence.
Yeah, Google's ready.
Google's ready.
Oh,
Wikipedia.
stop that right now.
Well, you could have to Google pictures.
All the
First
sets are
question.
available.
Ready?
Alexa, what's the moon?
There's the first one.
According to Wikipedia,
Name this constellation.
Moon is Earth's largest natural satellite, and we usually see it in the night sky.
Going live.
Some of the planets
Turn
are
that Alexa off.
That's brilliant. So, with name constellation, I'm going to leave them on for about 90 seconds each question, so it gives you a chance to have a think and a look. Let's just say that's a present view of the night sky. That would be as it would be tonight.
Okay.
For those that are listening to the radio, I'm showing a constellation that includes Mars and the Moon and Uranus, and it's a constellation that sits below Mars at the moment. That's explained it to the radio people, but they should be listening on on YouTube.
So basically, what constellation is below Mars at this moment?
Yeah. Tell me when you've had enough.
Yeah. I've had enough. Good night. I'm only joking.
I better write something down.
I'll hand in my astronomer's badge now.
Yeah. I'm currently just writing my resignation from Wolverhampton Astro.
I'm trying to join the dots.
Constellation stretches from where the arrow is to nearly over where the moon is.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I think
Bit of a clue in the top left.
The last few weeks.
Yeah, there's a clue in the top left-hand corner, folks.
Pleiades.
there is. I thought that was dust on my screen.
I've been trying to clean it off.
so. That's 1 point for that question. You only get 1 point for that question.
Oh.
Moving on to the next one. I'm going to be moving swiftly on to the next one. Name the two galaxies at this location, but not the Messier numbers, the common names for these galaxies. So there's 2 points here available.
Just read that question again, please, Pete.
Name the two,
Two
it's at the
galaxies.
top of the blooming.
I know, but I'm looking down at me paper here. I can't be looking up at the same time.
Oh, come on, Dave, you're doing worse than me.
Kath, I'm playing for time for you, love. Just hang in there.
For the radio listeners, we're looking.
Name the two galaxies at this location, not the Messier numbers. So therefore, not M81 or 82. What's the common name?
Straight away, haven't you? So what's
No,
the-
I haven't. I just said the Messier numbers. That's all.
Well, that's it. So for those listening to the radio now, Dave has given you a clue. What's Messier 81, 82?
And that's 2 points for that.
2 points for that one, yes. Okay.
Oh dear.
How are you doing? You doing all right? Everybody?
No.
No?
I've written answers down, but you know.
Well, as long as you've got answers, that's the main thing. Whether you've got it right or not is another matter.
Yeah, we.
Okay.
That.
Random scrivenings only.
That's just a pointer, just to show you where the galaxy is. I just thought I'd put that bit in. Okay, next is a multiple choice question.
Oh, I might get that one.
The answer,
Multiple wrong answers.
you've just got to guess which is the right one. And it is, how many light minutes is Venus from the sun? 20 light minutes, 3.5 light minutes, 6 light minutes, or 1 light minute. You've got a choice of 4 there, so you know you're only going to get 1 point. If you put all 4 down, you ain't getting 4 points. I mean, I think there's one that's got to be completely out of the question.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got a choice of the other.
Yes.
There are some questions where I do multiple choice, and one of them is actually completely out of the question. But I think it's that one which is even better, which I'll love. There's no bonus questions about penguins or phosphine on this on this one. Sorry, Andy.
Your nerves, man.
So I think you've had enough time on that one now. Do you think, or do you want a little bit more time?
A little bit
No,
more
go on.
time because I'm getting old and my brain doesn't work as much as it used to.
So it's
Oh,
it's a
Yeah.
process of elimination, really. By eliminating one and hoping you've got the one of the other 3 right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're done now, Dave. You've had a think.
Yes, I'm okay now, son. Yes.
Move on. What feature on the sun is a filament? In other words, we see filaments, but what are they? What actually are they?
Oh.
So there's that. Frank was wanting to do a bit more about the sun. So we've got a bit more, and Daz. So we've got a bit more about the sun there. So what actually is a filament? I can point to a filament for you. That is a filament, but what is it? What actually is it?
If I get this wrong after listening to Mark Townley's talk, I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Hey, Mark Townley might be listening.
You
I
might-
know.
He might be marking our papers.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's only 1 point for that one, obviously.
oh, even if I've gone into great detail.
Wrote an essay.
Wouldn't need it. Let me give you a clue. You wouldn't need to go into
Turn
great.
it into a poem.
You wouldn't need to go into a great detail about this because at the end of the day, it's a one-word answer.
All right, Pete. I'm just trying, you know.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
Peter, stop stressing us, will you?
I'm
Just
okay.
calm down.
Calm down. Calm
Calm
down.
down. Calm down.
You all right? Moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Name the
Oh,
process that is occurring here. See, I've got three sunny type questions going on here. Maybe I might have had 4. I can't remember what order they're coming out.
Was this in the Mark Townley lecture as well?
It's in my lecture on the sun.
Ah.
It was.
I'm
I think.
going to guess.
Yeah.
I know we should have a proper name, but
Oh, it's all part of the fun.
It is. It is.
it is. I'm really enjoying this.
Right. And we're only 6 questions in. We got quite a few to go yet.
6, I'm on 5.
5. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
coming on to 6 now.
Don't want to lose a point.
I've photographed the sun in 2 wavelengths of light here. What wavelengths of light are they? For the radio listeners, one's red and one's yellow. But actually, I imaged it with a mono camera, so they're both false color. One shows granulation and one shows plasma. That's the clue. So there's 2 points there. Okay. How are you doing on that one?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, amazing.
All right. I'm
Guessing.
guessing.
I'm going to write a book about all this.
Andy won the quiz last time by guessing the name of a pair of pliers or something, and he was
That's right.
Yes.
That was just not on.
he thought he was being clever by just making up a name of a pair of pliers. He was actually right.
Guessed it right.
Mm.
Who first identified sunspot? Multiple choice here, folks. All multiple choice. Who first identified sunspots? Was it Reginald Celestron?
Might have been.
Was it William Herschel? Was it Galileo? Or was it William Parsons? Or was it Hans Lippershey?
Oh God.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Now, the key word identified
Mm.
as opposed to observed.
No, identified that they were spots on the sun.
Okay, well, I'm happy with that.
But hadn't
Okay.
spots of the sun been seen by lots and lots of people before that?
Hmm. Especially naked eye sunspots the size of Jupiter.
Probably, but not through optical. Identifying them as blemish on the sun's surface.
So is your question who was the first to observe them optically?
Yes.
Oh, the question is who first identified sunspots?
There was nobody recorded as actually recording them. No named person was identified as listed as identifying the
Right.
person. This is the first person to be identified as identifying sunspots, if you like. I mean, different civilizations did through
Mm.
sunspots, but no person.
Right.
There was
Gotcha.
that person. I mean, I could have put the Chinese dynasty or something like that. But that's a lot of people, isn't it?
Well, all of them.
Same time.
They also spot of them.
Right.
Oh.
And here is one ready for you. Now, I'm going to leave this on the screen for a little while because it's a difficult one.
Oh,
Identify
here we go.
constellation is being reserved and tipped upside down.
Oh, for goodness
Upside
sake.
down. Mm.
Is that all of it that I can see at the bottom? Or
Yeah.
That's not the same constellation that I got last time, is it?
Ah, I know what that is.
Not what it was.
Last time it was Hercules. I'm not sure what that one is. Yeah.
I'm sorry about my chins. If you can see this, I'm turning myself upside down. Oh, I think I know what that might be actually. Yeah.
Remember, your chins are live on YouTube.
Great.
Your Chinese dynasty.
Great.
Oh, God.
Well, I think I'm totally flummoxed on that one.
I'm not doing so well myself.
Nah. I was saying, Ron, I got the one correct in the last quiz. It was Hercules, but it was upside down and the wrong way round. But I remember my days of 35mm slides. And you
Yeah.
put them in the projector with a little black dot in the upper right-hand corner, upside down and inverted. So
And
that's
the
how
number of
I
times
worked
we
out.
used to get it wrong.
Very often, and professional astronomers would come and give lectures and have the slides the wrong way round. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not so sure. I'm going giddy.
I'm
so
not
keep
okay
doing
with
this.
this.
I'll give you another 30
I'm not
seconds,
happy about that one.
Right.
30 seconds on this one.
It's not
Um,
Draco. It's not Erindus the River.
Indus the River.
That's a long one, isn't it?
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen track. Oh dear. That's a tough one. Do you want a dot? If I'm going to go
That
for
is a tough one.
triangulum.
That is a tough one.
For those that are listening on the radio, it's a picture with a lot of dots on it, so you were not going to get this one on
It's just a black picture with lots of white dots on.
reversed and upside down.
Some big dots and some small dots.
Get over to YouTube and you'll be able to see it.
There's
And,
no clue. There's no clue in there, is there?
you know, people can take part in this quiz after anyway, because they'll
Hmm.
on YouTube and watch it again, and societies can use it. You know, you could have it for the Liverpool Society and use it again, and then Dave can get all the answers right.
I do that all the time. I'm going to go for a total outsider on this, and I know it's going to be wrong.
Right.
Oh.
What mission was this photograph taken from?
I know that one.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Apollo 8,
No.
Apollo
Oh.
17, Apollo 11, or Apollo 15?
Hmm.
Mm.
Or even Apollo 9?
Oh, the answer I put down is not even on there, so that's
That's a bit of a
That's
guess
worse
then,
than
Dave.
me.
I was going for 13.
Apollo 13.
Oh well, I've got to rethink this now.
I mean, there are 3 there that it can't possibly be.
Mm,
That's correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's down to 2, I think.
It's a lovely photo, isn't it?
Beautiful, nice and sharp, good clarity,
Yeah, yeah. Excellent.
excellent clarity.
That's what you get with film cameras, you see.
Yes, yes.
Hasselblad? Was it
But don't
Hasselblad?
leave your Hasselblad on the moon.
Yeah, it has a
Yeah,
road.
don't leave it on the moon though. Don't point it at the sun.
It's all down to the film crew.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
that's it. Look at them shadows.
Question 10. What constellation is this as seen from another perspective?
Ah.
Right.
Got that.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
You got it?
This is
Yeah.
10, isn't it?
yeah.
10. Yeah. Question 10. I think you've all got that one. It's pretty
I
obvious.
haven't got just a, oh yes, I have. Yeah.
Looking at it from the side, effectively. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7. What is this the first image of? And what craft took it?
Oh.
And to finish off, to give another point on this, and when?
That's in Russian.
That's the three points on that one.
Points on it.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's in Russian by the looks of it. So
yeah.
A clue, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
what craft took it? What is it an image of? And when was it taken? I'll just go for the year. I won't tie you down to the month or the day.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Trying to think of the name of the bloody
Mm.
of the Russian vehicles.
Hmm.
I'll give you a clue. The Russians didn't see this first because it was transmitted via fax.
Yeah, I remember that.
To Jodrell Bank.
Dodgell Bank, and they sent it down to the Times in London, who then printed it out before the Russians saw it, and it was on Patrick Moore's Sky at Night before the Russians actually saw their own image.
Mm.
Pretty peed off about it.
So I'm guessing.
Mm.
Right, because you can. So, yeah, the craft. Think of what if you kind of know what it is. The name of the craft represents the name of the place it was. Ish. So that helps you as well. Okay, moving on. Question 12. Where is this landscape found in the solar system?
I know that.
We what type of object is the landscape of,
No,
or the
wait,
name
No
of the
clues.
object?
No clues.
the object.
No, listen to Andy. No clues. Get out of it, you. It's behind you, Andy. It's behind you.
Oh no, it isn't.
Oh yes, it is. Nice. Look,
Oh, stop trying to confuse me, boys. It's very naughty of you.
The solar system, will you find this object? Not on what object, but where? So I want the actual name of where the place is.
It's not fair. I'm looking into those shadows and that cliff face there.
I think Andy got that one straight away.
Yeah, we would do. It's got no penguins on it, though, has it?
I actually gave a talk about this using exactly that photograph. So.
That's not fair.
Keep up.
I mean, the clue again is the night sky being so black. So it's somewhere that has no atmosphere at all.
My local bar.
Yeah. All the way on the moon. There's no atmosphere on the moon here, but there's plenty of water to drink. Okay, we're going to move on. You should have got that one by now. Name the telescope maker in this image.
And do you want his first name as well?
If you've got it, yeah, but I mean, it's not important because
do you get extra points for his shoe size?
If we get to a point where there's a draw and one's got the first name and one hasn't, then so that was taken at Burr in Ireland, by the way, just to give you a clue. I mean, the telescope itself gives you a complete and utter clue.
Yeah. Wasn't there Mr. Newtonian, was it?
Mr. Newtonian. What do you like?
Mr.
Rocket Launcher, Mr. Motor Firer.
Unless you've seen my talk on Burr telescope, you won't. This one is going to be very, very difficult, but I hope somebody gets it. Which Messier object got its name from a feature in this river?
Well,
what?
I don't like these Messier object names because sometimes they're American, sometimes they're English, and there's never definitive.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, Andy.
No, honestly, it's not difficult. Think about what you might find in a river, Kath.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard of the
fish.
Yeah, the fish nebula.
The fish nebula.
Okay.
But I mean, think about Andy. Think about what you might find in a river, in the water patterns.
It's not this particular river; it's a river.
No, it's that river, that actual river, and I can actually see the feature that the person who named the object was looking at the time because the feature is still there.
Oh, really?
Oh, I know. No, I don't.
No, I'm just going to start my gin drinking now. It'll be fine.
I'm not too sure that one.
No, I'm confused.com. But anyway, I'll put something down.
Kath, you're not on your own.
Guys, the guy observed it, and he knew it had got a Messier name, and he was thinking of the shape, and he walked over this one morning to walk around his grounds, and he saw this particular shape in the river, and he named the object after it. Okay, we're moving on to the next one. This is M1. And there's 2-pointer here. What name was assigned to it and by who? And this is the first ever drawing of that object. I'll give you a clue. It's the same person who named the Messier object on the last slide.
Yeah. What was he drinking? What was he drinking?
Gin.
Excellent.
So that's a 2-pointer. I think what M1 is, but whether you can get who named it. He's not by 2 titles. You can use either one. I don't. I'll go with either. Okay, question 16. Name the disk of material around a star that forms planets. Now that's a basic one.
Basic, he says, eh?
Mhm.
If you're a planetary scientist.
Well, you hear this all the
Well, I think I might know that one, so I'd guess it's fairly basic.
Not necessary.
No, the question, the answers are easy if you know them.
There we are.
Yeah.
Or if you've written them, if you've written the questions and got them off Google.
Oh gosh.
So that's just a 1-pointer. Question 17. This is a
That's a nice slide, that as well.
representation of M31 and the moon's apparent size in comparison as seen in the night sky. Is this true or false? That's all I want to know. True or false?
Nearly gave the answer. I nearly said the answer then. Oh dear. Oops.
Okay, that's a simple one. True or false? So you've got two choices. Right. Name the spacecraft class and who flew in number 8. So there's 3 points there, one for each astronaut that flew in it and one for the name of the class of spacecraft.
Numbers is P18. Oh yes, yeah, sorry.
It says on it, Daz.
Yeah, sorry.
At the top.
Oh, I've been drinking.
Kath started well early.
Yeah, she's in training.
I am.
How many astronauts will be on board that capsule, Pete?
There's a picture there, Dave.
Say again.
There's a picture there, Dave.
Yes, but there was a certain capsule where you wouldn't see another astronaut on board.
There's no more room. There's only 2.
That's my question answered. Thank you very much.
Must have been a very tiny astronaut, Dave.
Yeah, they
No. You need to know your capsules, Andy.
It was only very small, actually. The capsule was only about that big.
Yeah.
Okay, next
I
question.
have no idea.
No idea, but just have a guess, Kath. Just go.
I've had a guess.
Name the crater and the recent discovery related to it. Two answers. There's 2 points on that one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've discussed this a
Yeah.
lot on Astro Radio recently, have we not?
Yeah, but I've lost too many great brain cells. They've died.
Yeah.
Struggle to remember my shoe size these days.
I'm a bit like that. Okay, so we've got that one. So last question, question 20. What Messier object is seen in this image?
Okay.
Do you want the name or the number?
The number.
The number. Oh.
Okay.
What Messier object? You can put the name as well, Andy, if you want. And it could, if it comes down to a tie, we'll use these.
Okay.
So that was question 20.
20.
Answers. You ready for the answers, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What constellation is this? Any ideas? Just shout out. Nobody.
What did I put down? Sagittarius, but it's wrong probably.
Are you ready for the answer?
Yeah.
I put Auriga, but it's not right.
Cetus.
So it's that
Oh,
vast
dear.
empty space.
Cetus, my goodness.
No.
The whale.
It stretches under Pisces and up the other side.
Ah,
Heads
interesting.
towards Taurus.
Oh.
So and we asked, what is the name of the galaxies found at this location? Anybody?
I've got to say,
Cigar and Bodes.
but Bodes and the cigar?
Cigar.
I still couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
I
2.
only got one of them. I had
Oh, I
Grandad.
forgot 2 points for that. Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm
I
getting
only
excited.
got Bodes for that one.
Oh, no, I got
I only got the
Bodes.
cigar for that one.
Yeah, I only got cigar. Yeah, I thought it was
Oh,
Grandad.
Believe you me, that was my one flash in the pan of brilliance.
Well done, Kath.
I mean, we're astounded. How many light minutes is Venus from the Sun? And we said 20 light minutes, which we know is impossible. Because if the Earth's only 8.3, 3.5 light minutes, which is a possibility. 6 light minutes, which is again is a possibility, and 1 light minute, which is a possibility, and
I've
the
got
6 light minutes.
Yay.
Oh,
6. I got it wrong. My
That was a
goodness.
guess.
I got that.
I got
wrong.
3.5. Oh dear.
I
I
done
did
three
as
and a half,
well,
Ron. The Earth is 8 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be
I
less
didn't
than
work.
8 minutes, but more than 1 minute, I think.
That's the
Stocking.
thing. So it
Right.
has to sit in there somewhere. That feature on the sun is a filament. Just
Go on, Kath. What have you got?
Yeah, we want your poem.
No, you don't. Well, I thought it might be like a prominence or a flare, but I put prominence, so I don't know.
Ooh, I like that answer. Hey, I like that answer. Yes.
Prominence, seen edge on. So it's a prominence.
You can tell Marco was listening then.
That was well done, Kath. You
Thank you.
did listen.
I did, yeah.
Process is happening here.
Oh,
No, I know there's a name, there's a term for this, but I put down equilibrium because it looks like it's in equilibrium.
Me too,
I
Dave.
know.
That's exactly what I put.
That's not the answer, is it?
No, it isn't. No.
I put
Hang on.
Stellar.
Oh,
Oh,
can we have
well
equilibrium?
It is stellar equilibrium.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
have
I had
equilibrium?
solar equilibrium.
Well, that'll do, Frank. Equilibrium. It
Oh,
can't.
Hey.
cool. I thought it
Oh,
was
I
going
was
to be a bit
taking it
more
whether you said so
technical.
or not.
I thought there was a particular
No,
technical
it's
name for it.
It's equilibrium.
Yeah, well done.
Great.
I thought it was like someone's name.
The fusion outwards is balanced
equilibrium.
by the
Yeah.
gravitational force inwards, which
Equilibrium.
and when that
Mm.
when you get the imbalance in the fusion later on in the sun's life when it's
Yeah,
more heavy materials, equilibrium goes out of balance and the sun expands. That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
Constantly trying to fight itself, isn't it? Expand but not.
That's why the sun keeps its shape. If there was no stellar
Yeah.
equilibrium, there would be no sun. And so you can have solar equilibrium, just equilibrium, sun's equilibrium, whatever. What wavelength of light have I imaged the sun in here?
Mm.
Is
H
H alpha
alpha
one of them?
H alpha, I've put.
H
and white
alpha.
light.
There's 2 points here, obviously. So
H alpha, white light.
hydrogen alpha and white light. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad they never put yellow light down.
Yeah. So
We get 2 points there.
yeah. Who first identified sunspots? We said Reginald Celestron, who's a fictitious person. William
Very
Hurt,
obvious.
who did observe the sun using solar projection a little bit later on, and Galileo, William Parsons, who was out in Ireland, and Hans Lippershey, who invented the telescope. It was actually Galileo.
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 Galileo. Oh.
Oh. I'm just a small boy from home. Sorry.
Yeah, I won't carry on anymore.
Oh, look at that. Here's the back to front constellation. Here we go.
Oh,
Identify this constellation that's tips upside down and backwards.
I'm going to say Perseus because I can't guess what that is otherwise.
I said Eridanus.
Oh.
Well, actually, Dave, she said the answer about 4 times because it's the same picture that I did when you got it last time.
Oh, get out of it, you! What are you like?
Hercules. Oh, no.
Damn. Oh yeah, I meant Hercules. I was just trying to throw you then. Damn, I put Perseus down. Okay.
I didn't put
It's
that.
any
No.
constellation. I put Perseus as well.
Yeah,
I just seen the straddle, but I thought, nah, it can't be.
I
But I
thought it
did
was
see
Perseus.
Corona, and that did put me off.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It's taken from.
I'm going to go for the
15.
Apollo 17 because it looks high quality.
17. That was mine.
11, 15. Why couldn't it be Apollo 9 or 8 or 11?
They didn't.
didn't land on the moon, sir.
Well, the two of them didn't.
11.
Boom, didn't.
Landed in pretty flat. So it had to be 17 or 15, and it's Apollo 17.
Hey,
Schmidt? Commander Schmidt? Or
Yeah, the proper geologist, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Schmidt.
He was the only scientist to go to the moon.
That's correct.
The constellation here is seen from another perspective.
Oh,
Bit of an orangey star going up at the top left-hand corner there.
Hey, Orion.
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 I'm going to run a little video so you can see how that works. Hopefully. There we go. Can you see the video running?
Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
And you should see how there's Orion, yeah?
yeah.
So then we change.
Oh,
You'll see how this works.
Tell you what, we're lucky to see it as we are. Otherwise, it'd just be lots of dots. I wonder what other imagination could you have? An alien imagination? What would they say? The carbine harvester. The giraffe.
Mm.
As you
Yeah,
can
it's clever, isn't it?
shake
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Nice.
He's really pulling his bow, isn't he?
Yeah.
But this is what
You've had too much.
this is
Sorry.
an argument
No, not had enough.
with people like astrologers who say, you know, that constellation has an influence on you. Yeah, but if you move around, it's not a constellation anymore.
He said you can't use the word astrologers. It's gone 9 o'clock.
You just
Oh,
That's swearing.
I can use it. It's after 9.
Well, I know, but shouldn't wear it. It's just it's not a good word, is it? Astrology.
No.
You know, we're astronomers, not astrologers.
But that's what I say, you know, when it's one thing you can run to show the arguments that they think constellations are, that's what they are, all the stars are
Yeah.
associated. And then there's a load of these videos available on YouTube of constellations from different perspectives. They're great for quizzes.
that's really cool.
You
Background.
got to be careful, you know, about saying never use. It turns out that my son's fiance's mother is a very famous tarot card reader here in the U.S.
Oh,
Oh no.
Frank,
So now,
the lottery.
so now when we,
Frank,
Frank, you lose points for that.
Yeah.
no,
-5.
fine, because my mother is as well. My mother's a psychic,
Oh,
astrologist, tarot reader
Yeah,
down in
there
Eastbourne.
you go.
That's better. She,
I have.
she believes she comes from that that star formation behind Daz.
Yes, she comes from the Pleiades.
The
Yeah.
Pleiades.
We told a group of astronomers, and I was like covering myself up, going, "Oh my God!" And they're going, "Isn't she lovely?"
Yeah, she's
Well, the
lovely,
first thing that
Pete.
popped into my mind is it must play well for my son because she's letting them get married. So
There you go.
Well, we used to have the lottery show every Saturday. The lottery was drawn, and it was done like a bit of a cabaret show in
Oh,
between. And then we'd have
Mystic
Mystic Meg
Yeah,
would,
Mr.
would,
Meg.
would read out the basically a bit
Oh.
of horoscopy biz, but she never ever won the lottery, and that says a lot.
Damon. Okay, so question 7, answer 2. What is this in this image? What craft and whence? 3 points available here.
Ooh, is it the far side of the moon?
It's the moon.
Yeah.
Ready? It's the
Luna,
Moon.
Outside.
Luna.
Luna
Oh,
3. That's
Oh.
Luna
oh,
1.
wrong year.
I got
I
that
just
right.
put Lu-
I had Luna
oh.
1. Can we not have a point just for Luna?
Yeah.
no.
No, okay. Boo.
Oh.
He's a tough quizmaster, isn't he?
Yes.
Right,
1959.
They lost Luna 1.
Yeah.
It didn't go on the right trajectory and
It
missed the moon by a long way. Don't know what happened to Luna 2, but Luna 3 is obviously the
landed
first.
fine. I'll cover that in my Lunar talk, which I'm doing tomorrow night for Stargazers Lounge.
I got that totally wrong. I had Venus,
Yeah.
Smirnoff, and 1975. So
Well, I had the far side of the sun.
Oh, stop.
Well, where is this landscape found in?
I can't remember whether it was a comet or not.
67p,
It's
67p.
67p.
So this is Fila. Was this the one where Fila got lost in the
Yes,
little shadows?
So Frank's got that one. I'll take
Oh,
7p. I don't need the full name.
No.
well, I'm not done. I haven't done very well.
Ray, I've got one.
Don't worry, Dave.
That's
What?
so.
I
Was
just
there a
put
name
on
of
a
the-
comet. Can I not have half a point for on a comet?
There's a lot of comets.
Some of those landscapes on that comet are absolutely amazing. And
Yes.
one thing you should check out is a video that was put together from a few frames taken by Rosetta with the stars in the background and snow in the foreground. And it's absolutely, it only lasts about 2 seconds, but it's
It's not long enough, is it? Really?
No,
On a
it's
loop
not.
as well.
Name the
Good
telescope
stuff, though.
in this image. The scope gate.
Mr. Dobson.
It's
Mr.
John Dobson.
Mr. John Dobson.
Oh, I didn't
Yes.
know. I was
I've got
first.
his name as well. Fantastic. Is that 2 points or 1?
Well, there's only one bloke.
Yeah, but I mean, do I get a point for his first name and his last
No,
name?
no, no.
I'll stop pushing it, Andy.
I've
His
got
shoe
I was
size
trying to
was
figure
8,
out
by
these
the
my
way.
answers to the others, Kath. I've got to push it at this point.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. There's the river. Here we
I'm
go.
not telling you what I put.
Is it the whirlpool?
Yes.
Oh, get out. So where's the whirlpool on your picture?
Yeah.
Look at the
I
bottom.
can't see the
Galaxy.
whirlpool in there.
Yeah.
Quiet. If you look at the bottom middle, you'll see
Yeah.
like whirlpool shape. That is the actual place where that feature still occurs now as what occurred when William Parsons was observing the whirlpool, and he walked over the bridge, looked down on that, and decided to call it the Messier 51. So but I didn't ask what the name of the object was. I asked you which Messier object it was.
The Whirlpool
you?
Galaxy.
Whirlpool Galaxy.
51.
M51.
M51's is the answer then.
Oh,
Can't,
I
can't
put
we have
Whirlpool Galaxy, and I was only joking. I only put it as a joke because I could see a whirlpool in the river.
I'll give you Whirlpool.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you.
He's easy going, isn't he? Sometimes, not all the time though.
Yeah.
Oh, I never got-
What name was assigned to it, and who gave it its name?
oh,
That's the
I
Crab
don't know who
Nebula.
gave it.
Crab
Oh, it's
Nebula.
Crab.
Who do
I
you
don't know
reckon?
who
Anyone?
gave it.
I reckon Charles Messier.
Lord Ross. Lord
Mr.
Ross.
Parsons.
Oh, Lord
John
Ross.
Herschel?
It was
Thomas Parsons, wasn't it?
Oh, well done,
Wow,
Dave.
William.
Well done, Dave.
Oh, it was the third L Ross, not the second. Oh dear, oh dear.
Hang on, not
Oh,
Lord.
Dave.
You can't have Lord Ross though, Dave. He's an Earl, not a Lord.
William.
I just put Mr. Ross.
Yeah,
I don't recognise royalty, you see.
yeah, he was the guy.
Don't start a debate, Dave.
He started start me now. Stop start me, you.
He was a guy that named the Whirlpool Galaxy, and he named quite a few quite a few objects actually. The common names that we use today were named by him. Name the material.
Oh.
What is this disc called?
It's an accretion disc.
Circumstellar.
Accretion disc.
Accretion disc.
Accretion.
It's
Accretion
also a
disc.
circumstellar disc, to be absolutely accurate.
Well,
Okay.
Quizmaster's answer is always correct.
I'm
No, it's not.
so
It is. Sorry, Penguin. It
What?
is.
this is a representation of M31 and the moon in the night sky covering those areas. Is that true or false?
True.
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 It is six moon diameters, angular measurements, of course.
So we've got that. So next we move on to name the spacecraft class and the two people
Oh.
who flew in number.
Hmm.
It's Gemini.
Yes.
Hmm.
I think it was Armstrong and Lovell. I may be wrong on either or both of those.
Ooh.
Get off me
I said
question,
Armstrong and
Justin.
White.
Armstrong and White, was it?
I didn't
I don't know
who
that,
it
though.
was.
Gemini. Right.
God.
Oh.
So is that for 3 points? Is it, Peter?
Pointer. So you go point for Gemini, point for Neil Armstrong. Point.
Okay.
I've got one.
I got one for Gemini. Now, Andy, the reason I said about how many astronauts on board in
Yeah,
the
tell me.
Apollo, well, in the Apollo, one of the astronauts sat in
You've got
between
to-
the two, right
Ah,
down
that's
at the
true.
front.
Ah,
That's where the other seat is.
sorry, I thought you were talking about Gemini.
Sorry.
I thought, how's that going to work?
I couldn't say Apollo, otherwise it would narrow it down.
I thought, how's that going to work? He must have been a really
Yeah.
small astronaut.
Well, I mean, you look at the spaceships that they're launching now, there's so much room
Yeah.
and very little
Like a
instruments in
hotel
there.
suite by
It
comparison.
certainly is, yeah.
Yeah.
Name the crater and the recent discovery related to it.
It's Clavius.
Water and
Clavius.
Clavius, yeah.
And the
Water
discovery of
Clavius.
water.
Gin.
Gin, was it?
Gin.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Crater and water. No, that's a
Is that-
2-pointer.
Oh, it's a 2-pointer. Oh, I'm getting excited.
2 points.
Oscar, move, please.
And there's no. The next one is guess the gaseous cloud, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beating me way.
What Messier object is seen in this image? And I said to Andy, I'll take the name or the Messier number.
Yeah.
I've gone for M8, but that's a total guess.
The
It
running
looks a
man.
bit like Trifid Nebula, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I think is it the lagoon?
You're
Oh.
thinking summer, and it's actually right in front of you in the night sky.
I put the running man.
No.
No. Oh.
That's like the Urano
Seventy-
78. Hmm.
Oh, I got the number.
Just to the left of the Orion's belt, just to the left of the Horsehead Nebula,
And what's it called?
the Ghosts Nebula.
The Ghost
Oh.
Nebula.
Oh.
Ah,
Oh.
What
Oh,
instruments
wow.
that
I've got the
taken with?
number.
Or Casper the Ghost, a lot of people call it.
Ah, Casper the Ghost. Great film.
I don't think there's any real official name for it. It's always been known as Messier 78, but I've seen it called. I think on Stellarium they call it Casper the Ghost.
Oh, that was hard going.
It was very hard going.
I said that a bit loud. I meant to say that mentally.
That was a Homer Simpson moment. the thought bubble in the mouth.
Oh
Well,
dear.
That was a great quiz.
That was a good
It
quiz,
was.
that.
Together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
that was great. That was really good.
Well done,
Learned a
Mr.
lot.
Quizmaster.
Yeah,
Yes.
well done.
There of 28 points. We'll go to a record and we'll come back to have.
Oh,
28 points. Oh, my goodness.
We'll have.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
I think I can safely say I've come bottom again.
we'll have.
Don't bet on it, Ron.
Oh.
Don't bet on it.
It's
No,
not
I
over
wouldn't
till the
bet
last
on it, Ron.
moment.
You're okay. We're going to have fast and guiding star.
I'll start typing the SPA resignation now. I'll just,
Kathy, you're going to tell us all.
First of all,
I'm going to rely on those.
get on the quiz. We'll go with
I
that.
just want to say, Pete, it's not about winning. It's about taking part. That counts.
We'll go with whatever. We'll go with Daz first. We'll come to you last, Dave, because I've got a feeling by saying that your score was pretty miserable.
I had
Hey,
15.
I'm not Donald Trump. I'm a good loser. I'm a better winner.
Go on, say again, Daz.
I had 15.
You had 15. Andy,
18.
Kat,
Ooh. Uh-oh.
16.
Okay. Recount.
Frank,
15 for me.
Oh, well done, Frank.
Very educational. Thank you.
Dave,
I'm frightened of saying 18 because this will go to a recount against Andy now.
no, I'll have
18, really?
18, yeah.
I'm going to do a tie-break question in a bit during the next record of the tie-break
Ooh.
question. Unless Ron, of course, has got more, or Pete.
Please say
No,
more, please.
I'm on 15.
Ooh.
Peter, did you take part or did you just listen? You just listened, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you just had a listening.
I don't think he wants to embarrass you, lot.
No, with his score.
That is true.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go to another track, and I'll come up with a tie-break. I'm missing all my letters out tonight.
What did Kath have?
Yeah, what did Kath have?
16. I did say 16.
That's a good score, Kath.
Yeah,
I did,
very
yes,
good.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Excellent.
I was quite impressed with myself.
Say she knows her prominences.
Oh, she does. She was good with that prominence one. We'll have a couple
Yeah.
of tracks. We'll have Elliot Miner and Solaris, and we'll have, and then we'll come in straight from. We'll go straight from that into Gabrielle Alpin with "Ready to Question," which is apt, really, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing tie breaks. So Elliot Miner going into Gabrielle Alpin with "Ready to Question," and then, guys, it's lockdown
Dun, dun, dun.
between Andy and Dave.
Ooh.
Fighting
Ooh.
talk, fighting talk.
Fighting talk.
Yeah.
What would be funny if Pete... How are we doing, Mr. Williams? Are we back on air yet?
You're on air. The question is, which Epicolombo scientist also won the astronaut competition with Chris Hadfield on BBC TV, BBC Two? The same person always also appeared at Solar Sphere.
Well, that's
Oh,
a bit
come on.
unfair. That's a bit unfair. I can't even
Can
get
you
these
say that
two
in
here.
English, please?
Yeah.
Repeat the question, but in English.
Scientist, Bepi Colombo scientist, also won the Chris Hadfield wanting to be an astronaut competition on.
Oh,
Oh God, that's not fair. I can't get BBC Two. I never saw it.
It's absolutely brilliant, that show is.
right.
Well, that's about health, isn't it,
Is it fair? Andy's never been to Solar Sphere, but I have. So I was going to say
No, all right then.
Susie Imber.
Yeah, it's Susie, but we'll go for another question, being as Andy can't get to see BBC.
Okay.
So that is ruling up that. But it was Susie Imber. Hi, Susie, if you're listening, and she's also
We
got.
love you. Hey.
It's lovely. Lovely girl,
What was the
lovely.
first American mission to carry a soil scoop?
Ooh.
Ooh. Hmm.
Ah,
Ooh,
right.
that one.
Okay.
No,
Mm.
soil
His
soup.
Andy's disappeared. Has he gone down to Google?
Andy's disappeared. He's just going to switch his,
No, I'm
his
just-
Alexa back on.
I'm just trying to get rid of the cat. That's all.
Yeah. I'll just get rid of my cat as well. Hang on.
Yeah.
Did you see my aunt just get rid of the neighbour's cat though? That's why she walked past. That was the
Oh,
neighbour's
really?
cat in. Yeah.
a whole lot of catting going on. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
which American mission or US mission was the first mission to use a soil scoop?
See,
Right.
Don't look
this is
over
a
your
trick
shoulder,
question,
Andy.
this
Don't
now.
look over your shoulder, Andy.
Hmm.
No, it's definitely not that.
I
Oh,
don't know. I'm going to. Can I make a guess? A wild
Do you-
guess?
Do you want? Are you on the answers now?
well, yeah, we would. It was the first.
Sometimes today would be an idea.
I think it was Viking.
Dave,
I was going to go for one of the Mariners.
it was Surveyor 3 on the
Surveyor
map.
Surveyor 3, so it was lunar. So I was playing on the word
Okay.
soil. Could have been Martian or.
Sticking with that probe, then we'll stick with that probe.
Good question.
What year and what I won't go for the month, I'll just go for the year. What year did Surveyor 3 land on the lunar surface?
Uh-huh.
Let me think. Hang on.
Right, I think I know that one.
Oh,
I'll have a stab.
go to
I
that.
think it was 1967.
I was going to go for 66.
Andy's one.
Okay.
Hey! Sorry, Dave. Bad luck,
That's
mate.
okay. That's okay. We'd never live it down if I didn't let you win, Andy. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
And in my defense, I've just got to say my Wi-Fi was playing up there as well. I couldn't quite get on Google.
Couldn't Google.
I'd just like to thank my
Andy,
agent, my
virtual
manager.
handshake across the oceans.
Across the oceans.
There we go.
We'll go to another track and we'll come back to see if there's any astronomical or space news going on. This is Three Doors Down and Time of My Life.
Excuse me, I've just got to get rid of
Right,
this.
space
chat.
news, Andy and Daz and Frank, over to you on that. Have you got any? Or does she get rid of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've from Jodrell Bank Shop.
Well, hold on, you weren't on air at that point, but just as I clicked you on air, I heard Dave say get rid of them.
Can you get prescription to get rid of them with an ointment?
Hard on them.
Tell us more about your baubles.
I was doing a little bit of online shopping the other day, and I looked on the Jodrell Bank Shop because I wanted some planetary baubles for my Christmas tree, and I found some moon ones and some planetary ones, which I think look like Saturn ones. So I might have pressed buy. Haven't told my aunt yet.
Bye
I
bye.
hope she's not listening from downstairs that we're going to have a Christmas tree adorned with moon and planetary baubles.
So
So I'm
lovely.
very happy.
When the Juggernaut arrives outside your house with the whole of the Jodrell Bank
Yeah.
advertising on, well, you want to go and have a look at Armagh Planetarium as well. They've got some brilliant stuff for sale. So if you're going to buy up, Cav, buy a few from Armagh as well. I mean,
Oh, well, why not?
But these sales desks are, you can actually access them via the internet, can't you? So you can order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done all my Christmas shopping online for everything.
I remember years ago when we had slides, if you remember, you were talking about slides and putting them in backwards and upside down.
Colour reversal. Yes.
I remember buying all my slide sets from Armagh Planetarium. They were the only place where you could buy entire slide sets of Deep Sky and planetary images, Voyager, and all that. So
I used to do lectures and I did exactly the same.
So the William Brown Street's museum, or the City Museum as it is, or World Museum as it's now called. They used to have the shop there, didn't they? We'd buy them. Yeah. But what's amazing is what we could buy then, a slide, as we call it a slide, it's a colour reversal film. A picture of Mars on 35mm film looked amazing with its ice cap and orangey surface. And that now is something that you would throw away and be embarrassed in showing as an amateur astro imager.
Yeah, and that was taken by a world-leading telescope.
That's right. I think the 48-inch Lick or whichever telescope. And they in the day were the pictures, weren't they, to have?
Oh,
but
yeah.
now, we're so way gone beyond that.
I mean, I've still got all my slides actually up in the loft. But
I have as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got them in the study somewhere.
Yeah, so that'd be really nice to get them out and just have a look and look through and see, the comparison to what we take now.
Yeah.
I've got some slides. I've got a box of them here just I've been looking at.
I found recently a set of slides I prepared for a talk on Einstein in 1985. So if anybody ever wants a talk on Einstein and has got a slide projector, let me know. I'm your man.
I was going to say for a minute. I got a set of slides I prepared about Einstein when he was still alive. So what other space news? Come on, we got it. We got about
Yeah, we got the Chinese lunar sampler mission there, Andy. You were talking about.
Yeah.
was
The
basics
Chinese
on that?
have launched. The Chinese have launched a sample return mission to the moon. They hope to bring back 2 kilograms of material. It launched this week. It's arriving back in early December, and the lander is going to dig to a depth of 2 meters on the moon, which is the deepest we've ever dug on the moon. Also this week, don't forget, on Monday we should have the first test flight of SpaceX's Starship rocket, the revolutionary rocket, which is probably going to take us back to the moon and Mars. The weather forecast for Monday does not look great, but if not, it'll be delayed to Tuesday.
Do we have a rough idea of the time for the launch?
No,
in
SpaceX
GMT?
never announced times. The window that they're working on is from 9 a.m. till 7 a.m. Texas time. So we'll work that out. So it'll be obviously 6 or 7 hours later here, or where you are. So yeah, but this is going to be, if it works, this will be the world's first working, fully reusable, multifunctional spacecraft. And so it's a big moment in space history. Let's hope it goes well. Good luck.
I always look forward to these launches. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
The other topic.
You were saying, Dave,
sorry, Frank, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, you were interesting how you said how times have been changing. On SLU yesterday, when a Chinese mission took off, a young person on SLU, just using internet available data on launch trajectories and stuff, was able to actually image the booster as it lit up like a satellite, and also take pictures of the landing, where it would be then using just remote imagery. Some young person, and again, this is something that would have been a JPL laboratory PhD exercise to do not 25 years ago.
Absolutely,
Very impressive.
Times are changing.
It's amazing how it's changed.
Amazing. The other topic we were chatting about was the telescope, the radio telescope Arecibo, which is now sadly looks like it's going to be demolished, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
So what started? We just thought, obviously it was going through disrepair, lack of maintenance, but then the cables started fraying or snapping. These metal cables that were supporting it.
Yeah, a few weeks back, one cable snapped and it damaged the dish below. But since then, a second cable is broken and caused even more damage. And it's, as you said, it was lack of maintenance. It's always struggled for funding and things like that. But also it was upgraded at some time, because even when it was built, when it first came online, it was already outdated. But it was not only a radio telescope, it was a radar scope as well. And it's been used it's got lots of firsts against its name. It was the first to discover an exoplanet, a rocky exoplanet. It's been on several films, James Bond's Contact, and things like that. And then it was upgraded at some time, I think in sort of like the 80s or something like that, where they added more weight to the suspended, sort of like the receiver platform at the top. And they did add more cables to it to try and just bulk it up a bit. But over time, these cables of the main cables, the three that originally held the platform above the thing have been stretched and things like that, and they frayed, and one broke, and then a second broken. But now it is actually too dangerous for anybody to get anywhere near it to try and repair it. I mean, they've been coming up with ideas like dangling people from helicopters to try and do the work. So if it did collapse, it would, they would be safe and things like that. But it is just far too gone at the moment. There is, as Andy said, a petition going into the White House to try and get them to fund repairs for it. Because it does leave quite a big gap in our asteroid detection system. Because of the radar. It was such a big dish, and the radar system that it used, it could detect the size and the speed and direction of near Earth asteroids very quickly, very more accurately. And the only thing is, it's going to be, they don't know whether to demolish it or let it fall into disrepair totally. But we have got FAST coming on, which is the Japanese one, and that, but that isn't a radar one, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, the panel, for taking part in the quiz, and well done to Andy again for winning.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my wife, my agent, my
yeah,
and Dave letting you win.
Yeah, Dave for letting me win.
We will be back on Monday. I will announce a guest before the show on Monday, and hope you have a good rest of the weekend. This has been Pete. This is Reach Out and Touch Space. Thank you very much, and good night.
Of course, you're going to get emails now. I said Japanese is Chinese, isn't it? Fast.
Chinese.